Just ahead on CTV News, we take a deep dive into last night's vice presidential debate, and the county school system is taking green action, one school at a time. Plus,
we're in the CTV News kitchen with Chef Riri, and we're going to show you how to make some quick and easy sushi right from home. You don't want to miss it.
Those stories and more coming up next on CTV News.
Good evening, this is CTV News for October 2nd. I'm Mariah Jalad. Thanks for joining us. With just 34 days until the election, vice presidential hopefuls Tim Walz and J.D. Vance took the stage last night for what could be the last debate before the November 5th election. While remaining cordial, they strongly disagreed on topics like abortion, gun violence, and the border crisis. Vance emphasized Trump's border policies and criticized the current economic situation, while Walz defended Harris's leadership, focusing on climate change and reproductive rights. Both candidates aimed to solidify their party's platform, but analysts say neither delivered a knockout moment.
Both of them won in terms of civility. That was something that I really appreciated. I think substantively, in terms of policy, in terms of where we want to go with this country, Tim Walz won with substance, with policy points, with facts. If we're going simply for, superficial delivery, J.D. Vance won. He was very poised in terms of his delivery. But again, you have to dig deeper to find substance and truth. The substance and truth, in my opinion, lied with Tim Walz. And again, you have to get beyond that superficial barrier of just, coming off very polished in your delivery. When we're talking about, so many lives that are depending on our country to be economically sound, to be physically sound, the truth matters. So overall, I would give Governor Walz the win.
CTV talked to people in the community to hear the local reaction to last night's debate, but many said it wasn't their choice of viewing Tuesday evening.
I just don't even have the energy for this right now. I watched the last one, and that was enough for me.
I didn't watch it last night.
Tim Walz was nervous, but he pulled it off in the end. J.D. looks like an actor, but he said nothing. But he's a good actor. He should go into acting.
To be honest with you, I don't know a ton about the VP candidates. I should probably know more, but it's just too much. It's just too much to, I feel like we're being punched in the face about it all the time, and some of the issues are too near and dear. So some of the things that are said are hurtful. So I just don't even want to hear it.
At this time, there are no further debates scheduled between candidates. And as Election Day gets closer and closer, the Maryland State Board of Elections wants you to be aware that election dis- and misinformation could be circulating on social media. That means any incorrect or misleading information about the time, place, or manner of an election, election results, or voting rights in Maryland. To help stop mis- and disinformation from spreading, the board has created an online portal for you to report posts you see online.
If you see something that's kind of questionable, report it to us on our website through this portal. Take a photo, a snapshot of it, so that we can then correct the record. We've had a couple of text scams recently. Sending a text message saying, urgent, you're not, according to public roles, you're not registered to vote. And they're really playing, I think, on the heightened atmosphere of this election. And, at best, they're there to probably steal your identity. At worst, they're sowing distrust and discord on our roles, that they're not up to date, or that there's, again, some sort of problem with it, creating mis- and disinformation there.
You can find the online portal by going to elections.maryland.gov and searching disinformation. And in world news, Iran launched at least 180 missiles into Israel on Tuesday, the latest in a series of rapidly escalating attacks between Israel and Iran and its allies that threatens to push the Middle East closer to a region-wide war. Iran said the barrage was retaliation for a series of devastating blows Israel has landed in recent weeks, including those against the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah in Lebanon, which has been firing rockets into Israel since the war in Gaza began. We spoke with Maryland Congressman Glenn Ivey about the recent attack.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the Biden administration that's already announced it's going to continue to support Israel in its self-defense efforts. The Iranian attack was a real scary step and a dramatic move. But we've always known that Iran was behind Hezbollah and Hamas anyway. So, the United States will continue to stand with Israel, and hopefully we can resolve this. I know President Biden's looking for some kind of off-ramp to get this away from becoming a full-scale escalation, and I hope that works.
Meantime, dock workers from Maine to Texas continue to walk the picket line. Members of the International Longshoremen's Association hit the picket line yesterday over wages and automation of port operations. The two candidates for U.S. Senate from Maryland are weighing in on the strike. Angela Alsobrooks released a statement saying, in part, the longshoremen and our dock workers at the Port of Baltimore are essential workers who deserve a fair deal. She urged both sides to return to the negotiating table. And former Governor Larry Hogan, who has the endorsement by the Baltimore Longshoremen's Union, visited striking workers yesterday to show his support. And Governor Wes Moore calls the Students for Justice in Palestine event planned for October 7th inappropriate after a judge allowed the event to proceed at the University of Maryland. In a statement, Moore said he respects the rule of law and due process, but he thinks October 7th is an inappropriate date for the student group to hold a protest. SJP has said the event will be a vigil featuring teaching sessions about Palestinian history and an interfaith prayer to honor the victims of the war in Gaza. Governor Moore also said everyone in Maryland has the right to peacefully protest, but that day should be remembered as a, quote, heinous terrorist attack on Israel. And Montgomery County elected leaders leading by example this morning. County Executive Mark Elrich among those getting an updated Novavax COVID-19 vaccine. The event was held at a giant grocery store in Silver Spring. The chain's pharmacies are providing the shots, which are produced by the Gaithersburg-based Novavax. Officials are making the push for people to get vaccinated now before the holidays start and families come together to celebrate.
I got my first shot March 20th, 2021, and nearly 4 years later, we're still talking about the importance of getting vaccinated. So it's real, it makes a difference. You can still see when we do our briefings or we talk about COVID, you'll see that this is still out there. People are still going to hospitals. There are still people dying. This is much worse than the flu.
You know, it's disappointing that people don't have the same excitement about the COVID vaccine that they did in the beginning. And I think there's a little bit of COVID fatigue. Why do we have to keep doing this? But I'll tell you, the COVID vaccine is just as effective and important today as it was a few years ago when it first came out. We still know that it helps protect against severe disease. We still know that it helps protect against death and hospitalization and helps to protect our counties. So just because you got it last year, you still should get it again this year, just like you do with the flu shot.
The new COVID-19 vaccine, which was recently approved by the FDA, is the only protein-based COVID vaccine available in the United States. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Mariah Jalad. Still to come, today is National Coffee with a Cop Day. See which local police station we spoke to and the purpose after the break.
I wish people knew that when you live in a small town like mine, it's much harder to find friends with common interests, especially ones my age. I often feel really alone.
Same here. Seems like every time we finally settle somewhere, I have to pack up and move again. By the time I make a friend, a real friend, I have to say goodbye to them.
I totally get it. I live in a big city, but it can feel just as lonely. It's tough, but it gets easier.
Honestly, I totally get what you're going through. It's nice to know that you feel the same.
You enjoyed my story. I really enjoyed your story as well.
Welcome back. Members of the Maryland Car Rally Task Force disrupted 12 unlawful exhibition driving events this past weekend. Those spanned multiple Maryland counties, including 6 in Prince George's. Officers responded to gatherings of up to 500 people, police said, were attempting to shut down intersections. Arrests were made, including individuals charged with vehicle theft and firearm offenses. The task force has focused on cracking down on these dangerous driving events, known as takeovers, since June. Police are continuing to increase patrols and conduct investigations to ensure public safety. And the FBI agrees to pay more than $22 million to settle a class action lawsuit alleging harassment and discrimination against female recruits. The Bureau agreed on Monday to pay 34 women who were dismissed from the training academy. The lawsuit, filed in 2019, claims female recruits were subjected to a hostile work environment and judged more harshly than their male peers. The Bureau said in a statement, quote, "They have taken significant steps over the past 5 years to further ensure gender equity in the training and development of all our trainees." And the Maryland Kids Code Coalition is celebrating as a new online safety law has come into effect. Over the past year and a half, community organizations and advocates across the state called for Senate Bill 571, which requires companies complete a data protection impact assessment by April 1st of 2026 if children are likely to access their online products. CTV spoke with parent advocate Todd Miner on how losing his son Matthew in 2019 during a social media challenge pushed him to make a difference.
Our community asked us to do something about how Matthew and other kids are suffering from online harms and due to big tech and social media. The Maryland Kids Code will hold online platforms responsible for designing their products with kids' privacy and wellness in mind. So what that means is algorithms and privacy settings will the privacy settings will be turned up to the highest protection levels. So that means kids' locations, geolocating is protected, so you won't actually know where a child is just through the online platform.
The landmark protections will cover almost 1.4 million kids and teens. For more information on the Matthew E. Miner Awareness Foundation, visit thematthewminerfoundation.org. And Prince George's County Public Schools applauds the district's efforts to combat climate change and champion sustainability. The event was held at the district's newest net zero energy school, Ellen Ochoa in Landover Hills. Congressman Glenn Ivey and other leaders got the chance to tour the school and got an up-close look at an electric school bus. Awards were given to community members who are helping the county be a leader in energy efficiency, and leaders spoke about the importance of these efforts as the state tries to combat climate change.
Today, we're not just looking at the future, we're building it. PGCPS is proud to lead the state in green initiatives, and it's something that we take very seriously. We don't take it lightly at all. We consistently lead the state in certified green schools, a reflection of our commitment to the environmental stewardship at every single level. This leadership is not just about policies and about plans, it's about action and really doing what's necessary to ensure that we have the best opportunities for our kids in our environment when it's all said and done.
Ellen Ochoa Middle School is part of a $3 million grant from the Maryland Energy Administration that supports reconstruction of net zero energy schools in the district. Well, if you've ever wanted to connect with your local police force over a cup of joe, today was your perfect opportunity. Today is National Coffee with a Cop Day, bringing men and women in uniform together with their communities. Bowie police were at their local PJ's Coffee this morning for what some said is a key part of their police duties.
It's the most important part of the job. We serve at the pleasure of the citizens of Prince George's County, and we work for them. They're our boss, and we love being out here with them.
Many people are concerned about safety and might not have a relationship with the police officer that's assigned to their district. So this kind of brings a connection.
I'm just hands-on with the police. I support them in every way that I can.
National Coffee with a Cop Day is the first Wednesday of October, but Prince George's Police Departments hold events like this year-round. Now, if you're looking to spice up your dinner routine, we've got just the thing for you. CTV's Michaela Newton, along with Chef Riri, who's here to help whip up a delicious dish that's perfect for any occasion. What's going on, Michaela?
Hey Mariah, yeah, we're here around some food, so I know you wish you were here, but I'm actually here joined by Chef Riri, who's actually a personal chef in the DMV, and we're gonna be making some sushi today, so I'm really excited. So Chef Riri, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, I'm Chef Riri from Japan, so I help people home cooking, and also I teach how to make sushi.
Awesome, so that sounds like a lot of fun. I've never made sushi before, so you're actually gonna teach us how to make sushi. So tell me what kind of sushi we're actually gonna be making.
Okay, so today we're gonna make futomaki, that means thick roll.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a big one.
Okay.
So let's start.
Okay. So what are these called? What are we making with these?
Yes, so this one you can use for rice. Okay. Just scoop out. They put on the seaweed.
How much rice do I need to use?
Okay.
A lot of it? Or just enough to cover the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Then please leave like 1 inch on the top.
Okay.
Then split evenly.
And this is sticky. And before you were telling me that this is a different type of rice because it's a lot stickier than your normal white rice.
So you can get sushi rice. So
you can buy it at any grocery store?
Yes.
Or okay. Any grocery store, perfect. All right, and so it looks pretty even. So we're just spreading it out. Yours looks better than mine.
Okay, all the way down.
Okay, all the way down.
But leave 1 inch on the top.
And the bottom two or just the top?
Bottom, yeah.
Okay.
Bottom, just like this.
Okay, does that look okay?
So you're gonna fix it.
Okay, so just mash it in there.
If you put too much rice, it's gonna be really thick.
Really thick? Okay.
So if you're gonna take a little rice.
All right,
yeah, looks nice.
Okay, perfect.
Then now, most fun part, so you can put whatever you like inside.
Okay, whatever I like. Okay.
Yes.
So we have everything here. So tell me what we have here.
Okay, cucumber, avocado, cream cheese, crab stick, and smoked salmon.
Okay, smoked salmon, nice. All right, what are you gonna get?
You're gonna get cucumber because it's nice and crunchy.
Okay.
And avocado. Then here's the center, so maybe a little bit towards you around here.
Okay.
Thank you, Michaela and Chef Riri. Make sure you tune in for tomorrow's show. We'll see another sushi roll those two will be making, and we'll see the finished products. Still to come on CTV News, yesterday was the official start of Walktober in Maryland. After the break, find out the many ways Prince George's County is celebrating. Back in a moment.
Might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. You may not even know you have it, but you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand. With early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Well, October has been declared Walktober by Governor Wes Moore in the state of Maryland, and today is Walk Maryland Day. Over 100 walks have been set up across the state, including here at the Ridgely Rosenwald School. Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation partnered with the Prince George's County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated to host their own walking event.
Well, this just shows for all residents that walking is not just for persons who are physically fit. It's for everyone. At some point in the day, everyone is a pedestrian. And so whether you're walking from your car to the grocery store, whether you're walking to the bus stop, whether you are walking to the local store, you're a pedestrian. And so we want everyone to be safe, be seen, be alert, pay attention to your surroundings where you're out walking. And today just shows that, you know, walking is a sustainable and affordable way of transportation.
Participants walked laps around the Ridgely Rosenwald School parking lot, which was founded in 1927, becoming the first school for Black children in Prince George's County. And the state's Highway Administration is hosting a workshop about safety on the East-West Highway in Prince George's. Residents will be able to listen and give feedback on proposals to improve pedestrian access. The 410 corridor between Riggs Road and Queens Chapel Road is already planned for safety improvements, along with 5 other corridors. The workshop will be held next Wednesday, October 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. at DeMatha Catholic High School. And College Park has claimed the title of the 5th best suburb to live in around Washington, D.C. in a new ranking. This is according to Livability, a source for city rankings that help people find their perfect place to call home. The city's bike-friendly trails and vibrant diversity are just a couple of standout features that have put it on the map. The top spot went to Alexandria, Virginia, while Gaithersburg, Fairfax, and Fredericksburg round out the top 6. College Park is the only city from Prince George's County to make the top tier. And the county's Association of Realtors gets a new president. On your screen is 2025 President Arnita Green of Capital Structures Real Estate LLC. She was appointed by her friend and former PGCAR President Sharmika Price. Green plans to focus on professionalism and emphasize to consumers that realtors are indispensable partners in real estate transactions. She officially assumes leadership of the association starting this month. Well, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for our Pet of the Week. Meet Giselle. She's a 1-year-old orange tiger and white domestic short-haired cat. She's been at the shelter since August 20th. Animal management says Giselle loves to cuddle.
She's very affectionate, so if you don't like affectionate cats, maybe she's not perfect for your home. But if you're into like cuddling and, you know, people being like animals being all up under you 24/7, then she's the right one for you.
If you would like to adopt Giselle or any of her furry friends, call Animal Management at 301-780-7200. All right, now Simon Buggs is here with our Wednesday sports page. What do you got for us today, Simon?
Well, Mariah, it's the MLB postseason, and I've got a recap of the Orioles game against the Kansas City Royals. Stay right there, sports fans. We'll be right back. You're going to want to see this.
As fans, you always show up big.
You drive hours to away games.
Brave 0-degree weather. You go all out.
Now, it's time to show up just as big for our country.
And that starts with registering to vote.
The average time to register is literally 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
It's not just our game that needs us.
Our country and local communities do too.
Let's get it.
What's going on, sports fans? We begin your Wednesday sports page with some MLB news. It was an exciting day in Charm City as the Baltimore Orioles took the field yesterday afternoon for their first wild card game against the Kansas City Royals. But the Birds couldn't get the dub as they fell to Kansas City. Baltimore struggled to get their offense going as they were shut out, scoring 0 runs in the game till the Royals won. And after the matchup, manager Brandon Hyde gave credit to Royals pitcher Cole Reagans for his performance.
Yeah, we didn't have many opportunities, but because Reagans was really good, and then the bullpen guys did a nice job. Well, we had a couple punch outs there, first and third, that hurt. You know, you gotta give them credit. I thought the pitchers were absolutely fantastic, and Reagans is really hard to hit, and the bullpen guys that came in after made it really tough on us.
The Orioles took the field against KC for the second game of the series at 4:38. Come on, Baltimore, I need y'all to bounce back and tie this series up. Let's get it done. Meanwhile, wide receiver Ty Felton has been giving defenses crazy work to start the season. And because of that, the Virginia native has been named to the Biletnikoff Award watch list. This award is presented every year to the most outstanding receiver in college football. And Felton is for sure on pace to be that, as he currently leads the Big Ten in receptions with 46 and receiving yards with 642. He's also tied for third in receiving touchdowns with 5. The 21-year-old also had at least 100 yards receiving each of his 4 games of the season. And because of that, he is the first player in the program's history to start the season with 4 consecutive 100-yard games. The winner of the award will be announced at the Home Depot College Football Awards on December 12th. And sticking with football, the Baltimore Ravens are starting to heat up as the team has won their last 2 games. This comes after Baltimore got off to a rocky start as they began the season at 0-2. And even though the team has looked pretty good the last 2 matchups, head coach John Harbaugh still believes his squad can improve.
Now we know we are just getting better. We know it's possible. We know what we're capable of, but we got a long way to go. And we got a lot of work to do. And we're just 4 games in, and we got 13 more regular season games to play. And where this season goes is going to be defined by what we do in the next 13 games plus. But I will say the leadership on this team is incredible. Kyle Hamilton sitting right over there. Okay, young guy taking the reins. Okay, you know all the other guys. You know Rowe, you know Lamar, you know Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, other young guys. We've got a bunch of great leaders in this team.
The Ravens will flock to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals next on Sunday. And wrapping up sports, shout out to Bowie State volleyball player Taylor Johnson for being named the CIAA Rookie of the Week. This comes after the libero recorded a team-high 13 digs with 8 kills and 2 assists in the Bulldogs match against Virginia State last week. This marks the 2nd straight week Johnson was named Rookie of the Week. Congratulations, Taylor. And that wraps up the Wednesday Sports page.
Thanks, Simon. Do you think that Ty Felton's going to win that award? You named some pretty impressive stats just then.
Yeah, he has a shot, Mariah. He definitely has some competition. One guy I want to point out is Trey Harris. He actually leads the whole country in receiving yards with 804, and his team is winning too. They have a slightly better record than Maryland. Maryland is 3-2. His school, Ole Miss, is 4-1. And also, I don't want to count out Travis Hunter as well. He's a DB and wide receiver for Colorado. He's 5th in the league in receptions with 561. His team was also 4-1. So my thing is, if Maryland can stack up some more wins, he'll have a shot at getting the award.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see that in December.
Absolutely.
Now let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be mostly cloudy. Tomorrow it's going to be partly sunny and in the mid-70s. Friday will also be partly sunny and we'll have a high of 77 and low of 62. Saturday, clear and sunny with a high of 78. Another perfect day to go for a walk. And if you want to enjoy that Saturday weather while getting in your steps for Walktober, here's our community calendar. This Saturday, Parks and Rec is hosting a Mind, Body, and Soul 5K. This walk aims to raise awareness for mental health initiatives in the community. A portion of the proceeds will go towards the Healthy Minds and Bodies program for veterans with disabilities in Prince George's County. This walk starts at 10 a.m. at the Woodrow Wilson Bridge Trail. For more information, contact 301-627-7755. And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Y'all have a good night. See you tomorrow.